companies like BuzzFeed News have completely shuttered their news operations. Time magazine also just laid off a ton of people, and Sports Illustrated basically shut down last week. Pretty much the entire digital media ecosystem that myself and a lot of other millennial journalists came up in has been completely hollowed out. And it's not just digital media sites. Local news has been obliterated. The newspaper industry is cratering. Radio is essentially dead aside from NPR, which has been gutted. Meanwhile, hundreds of workers at Condé Nast, the parent company of pretty much every major magazine from GQ to Vogue to The New Yorker to Vanity Fair, are on strike because they're also facing impending layoffs. Even mainstream national media outlets owned by billionaires like the Washington Post, where I work, and The Atlantic, where I used to work, have done layoffs. If you're a young journalist today, there's almost no on-ramp to traditional journalism. Even if you do get a job, journalists' salaries have been stagnant and even declined. And by the way, we don't make that much to begin with. I don't think people understand how bad the world would be without journalists. And let me just preface this by saying, for people that don't know my background, I did not go to journalism school. I built my own audience on the internet. I came from outside journalism and started as a blogger, and then entered into legacy journalism, a system that I have been incredibly critical of pretty much my entire career. So I'm definitely not some mainstream media defender.
Sure, Jan.
Oh my god, peoples! The leftist media establishment is falling apart. She's presenting this as some sort of dark news, as if it's a bad thing. The entire journalism industry is basically in a freefall. Yeah, I wonder why the entire journalism industry is basically in freefall. Actually, I'm not wondering at all. It's not a mystery, and in a way, Taylor Lorenz kind of indirectly told the story herself. Maybe a Freudian slip, but probably more of just a perfect accident. She said specifically, pretty much the entire digital media ecosystem that myself and a lot of other millennial journalists came up in has been completely hollowed out. She's implying that, oh, this world that we have created, it's being taken from us. No, you and your millennial journalist friends destroyed it from the inside. Let's use the coined term, the woke mind virus. That's exactly what this is. It's a virus that infected these outlets, these companies, and has been slowly destroying them from the inside out. Essentially what we're seeing is a white blood cell reaction that's ridding the ecosystem, the body, the journalism body, of the virus that's infected it. Let's call it a fake news virus. Let's call it the communist, the cultural Marxist virus. Big city, young liberal millennials have essentially completely overtaken the media ecosystem, making it their own. They've created their little clique, their little cultural clique, and over the last couple of years, instead of actually engaging in proper neutral journalism, reporting on facts, and telling the story, they've spent the last couple of years attempting to rewrite stories, rewrite history, force narratives, subvert the natural electoral process. I have essentially made